So, mental health was not a topic that was discussed with my family, especially my parents. When I was younger, I've been through a lot of like emotional abuse coming from my parents and other family members. So I always had to reach out to other people, like friends, other family members, also that could understand me better.
So, I would say coming from a Christian home, mental health is something that was not really spoken about just because if you were sad or depressed, you are supposed to pray it away. And I think that has a lot to do with pride. I think within the context of the Bible, we could even see that Jesus' mental health was tested a lot of the times. I think a lot of the times, immigrant parents who come to this country, they're just taught to be so strong that they never acknowledge it when they feel weak. And then as they grow older, over time, you can see it, this is starting to have an effect on you. So I would say it wasn't spoken about, but I could definitely see it. But I didn't have the knowledge to attach the words to what I was seeing people experience within my household, nor did I have the words to understand what I was experiencing. I learned about the word depression when I was like 19, and then mental health and stuff came like, oh, this is how I feel. This is how I've been feeling. But it's hard to understand how you feel when you don't even know how to name it, you know?
One thing my mom always told us was that we should always come to her if we had any problems. She had no judgment. She would tell us that it's better that we tell her any issues we have so we can address it than us feeling scared or worried about what she might think and then having the problem escalate. So I would say she definitely gave us the opportunity and I guess way of thinking that we can talk about our issues, even though as a African man, it's not always the most conducive environment. Like people make you feel like, oh, you're weak for talking about how you feel. But at home, I always felt like I had someone to talk to. Even throughout like having come to Canada for such a long time, I knew that if I had any issues and I really, really, really wanted to talk to someone, I could always give her a call and she would talk to me without judgment. There was also the spiritual aspect of it of growing up as a Christian. Sometimes she'd say, "Oh, do you want to pray about it?" And even though sometimes I feel like that's not always helpful, I'd be like, "Yeah, just to at least entertain her way of thinking." But I noticed that so long as I prayed it, in a sense, the prayer wasn't necessarily whether I believed or not. It was more of just having a way to get it out there, and then that way I'd feel better, I'd feel heard, and I'd feel more comfortable talking about
Alors effectivement, dans ma famille, la santé mentale, on en parle depuis toujours, alors pas forcément avec ces termes-là. Le terme de santé mentale, c'est très académique finalement. Mais aujourd'hui, ça fait partie de notre quotidien. À l'époque, on parlait plus d'avoir un équilibre de vie ou de ne pas hésiter à vider son sac si on a trop de poids. Et puis, j'ai des parents qui lisaient beaucoup sur tout ce qui était le conscient, le subconscient et l'inconscient. Donc c'est vrai qu'on en a parlé d'une façon ou d'une autre, aller chez le psy. Alors moi, j'ai commencé une thérapie il n'y a pas très longtemps. Et c'est vrai que je n'ai jamais ressenti forcément le besoin d'aller voir un psy parce que justement, j'avais beaucoup de lectures, beaucoup de travail d'introspection, de méditation et aussi des gens autour de moi à qui parler. Puis bon, au bout d'un moment, on voit bien les limites des gens autour de nous qui nous connaissent peut-être trop bien ou qui ne nous connaissent pas assez justement et à qui on cache peut-être des choses. Donc là, à ce moment-là, on fait appel à un professionnel. Et donc ça n'a jamais été un sujet tabou dans ma famille.
Yeah, that is a good question. So, yes, now I am able to have better conversation about mental health to my parents. I mean, like with time passing by, things updating, I think they understand better that mental health is something that should be like considered.
Now that I'm older, I am definitely having those conversations with my mother and father because, like I said, even though they didn't speak about their mental health, I could see their current state of their mental health. I think, sometimes Black women are just taught to be so strong and this, that, and the third, but a Black woman is a human being as well, and who goes through a lot in just 24 hours. And I think sometimes when you're a mother of three kids, like my mom, I think at that point, like you're just so used to taking care of everybody, you forget to take care of you. And at one point, I feel like what's going on now is like I'm like taking care of her for all the time she took care of me. And then I'm also trying to remind her, but you are your responsibility, so you got to take care of yourself as well, right? But when you're taking on so much in parenting, you forget you're supposed to parent yourself as well, because you're as good to me as you're as good to yourself. And I think even when it comes to my father, men, we make a few mistakes, and sometimes people don't grow past their mistakes. So even having a conversation with him about his life and what he regrets or whatever, and just letting him know, well, you still got the opportunity. If you're still breathing and living, you can still live to do better. So I think it's just a matter of, yeah, just having those conversations, letting them know that, look, I'm an adult now too. We can have adult conversations, and you did a lot to help me in my childhood. I can do a lot to help you in my adulthood, and actually we can help each other now. It doesn't have to be a one-way path.